Hello friends, welcome to all of you in today's lecture. I will discuss on the topic physioclinical significance of Dhatumal. So in today's lecture, I will discuss what is Dhatumal, how it is generated in the body, what are its physiological significance, how it helps in maintenance of physiological homeostasis, and what are its clinical significance. As we know that Dhatumal are the waste products which are produced during the tissue metabolism, that is during transformation of Sapta Dhatu, that is Rasa Rakta Mans Med Asthi Majja Shukra, by action of their respective Dhatva. Since Dhatumal are derived from the Dhatu, so they also get affected in their imbalanced functional state, either in their Vriddhi state or in their Chaya state. The Dhatumal, they play a great role in physiological homeostasis along with the Dhatu, as the Malarupi Kaf, which is produced during the transformation of Rasa Dhatu. Similarly, the Pitta, which is produced during the transformation of Rakta Dhatu, it helps in digestion and metabolism. Similarly, in other physiological activities also. Thus, the Dhatumal play a significant role in diagnosis and clinical presentation of the imbalanced state of Dhatu, either their Vriddhi or in their Chaya state. So, let us see that how Acharya Charak has described about the tissue metabolism and how the Dhatumal are produced during the transformation of different tissues. He has given the verse Tat ahar prasadakyo rasah kittam cha malakya abhinivartante Kittat Swet Mutra Purish Vata Pitta Shleshmana Karna Akshi Nasika Asya Loma Kupa Prajanan Mala Kesh Ramashu Loma Nak Adesh Avayava Pushyan. In the first line, he refers that ahar, that is the food which we ingest, when it gets completely digested in the GIT with the help of different dosh, that is the Prana Vata dosh, then Saman Vata dosh, similarly the Pachak Pitta and Bodhak Kaf and Kledak Kaf. So with the help of these three Tridosh, the food, it gets completely digested and divides into two parts, Prasad and Kittabhag. Prasadakyo Rasa, Prasada Bhag is also called as Ras, and Kitta part, that is the waste part, it is also called as Mal. The Kitta part, it replenishes to the Swed, that is sweat, Mutra, urine, Purish, feces, Vata Pitta Shleshma, that is Tridosh, Karna, ear, Akshi, eye, Nasika, nose, Asya, oral, mouth, oral cavity, loam, Kupa, hair follicles, Prajanan Mala, the secretions in the genitalia. So the secretions present in all these parts, they are generated during the tissue metabolism, and they are replenished by the Kitta part of the ahar. Similarly, Kesh, Shramashru, Kesh, hairs over the scalp, Shramashru, beard, loam, hairs over the body, Nak, nails. So all these get nourished by the Kit, and they are produced at the level of digestion, that is Mutra and Purish, and during the metabolism of Rasa Rakta Mans Med Asthi Majja Shukra by their respective Agni, this Tridosh and these Mal, they are produced and they are nourished by the Kit part of the Ahara. The Ras part, it nourishes to the different Dhatu पुष्यन्ति त्वा आहार रसात् रुधिर मांस मेदो अस्थि मज्जा शुक्र औजांसि पंचेन्द्रिय द्रव्याणि धातु प्रसाद संज्ञकानि शरीर संधि बंध पिच्छा आदेश अवयवा. So the ahara ras, that is the prasada bhag, it nourishes to the 7 tissues. Oj, panchendriya dravya, that is the shabda sparsha rupa ras gandha. So the food, it is made up of 5 pancha mahabhut. It gets disintegrated into its simpler form and into their respective guna. So these guna, they are nourished by their respective pancha mahabhuta guna. Sarira sandhi, that is the joints, bandha, picha ad avayasya. So all the fluid like secretions, they are get nourished by the aharas. ते सर्व एव धातयो मलाख्या प्रसादाख्यश्च रसमलायां पुष्यन्तः स्वं मानम् अनुवर्तते यथा वयः शरीरम. Here Acharya Charaka expresses that similar to the ahara, as ahara gets divided into the ras and kitta bhaga by action of pachak pitta or pachak agni, in the same manner the dhatu, that is rasakta mans med asti majja shukra, they also get divided into 2 parts by the action of their respective agni, into prasada bhag and mala bhag, prasadayakha and rasmalabhyam. And the prasada bhag nourishes to the respective tissue, and its little bit fraction nourishes to the next dhatu also, and the mala bhag nourishes to the dhatu mal, which is formed at the level of each dhatu. And swam manam anuvartate, the formation or the transformation of the dhatu, it happens in their respective quantity. And yatha vaya shariram, yatha vaya shariram means it also depends on the age of the body. So as we know that tissue metabolism, definitely it depends on the age factor also, and each tissue is replenished as per the normal quantity in the body. एवं रसमलो स्वप्रमाण अवस्थित आश्रयस्य समधातु धातु साम्य अनुवर्तना. So in this manner the formed ras and mal part during the tissue metabolism. So ras adi means here the ras rakta mans med asti majja shukra, and the mal part. All these are formed in their respective pramar, that is in their normal quantity, and they retain in their respective ashray, means in their respective sites. Then they maintain the tissue homeostasis and the physiology. However, if निमित्तस्तु क्षीण वृद्ध्यानां प्रसादाख्यानां धातूनां वृद्धि क्षयाभ्याम आहार मूलाभ्याम रस समुत्पाद्य आरोग्याय. So the quantity, that is the either the tissue or the tissue waste product, it will be in their lesser quantity क्षीण, or it may be in excess वृद्ध. It depends on the ahara mulabhyam. So we know that the whole tissue and is nourished by the aharas, and the kitta part is going to nourish the waste which is formed at the level of GIT or which is formed at the level of tissues. All is being nourished by the aharas, which is formed by the food which we intake. So basically all these things depend on the quality of ahar or diet which we take. Swaman atirikta punur utsargina. So if the mal, it is formed in excess, it is excreted out from the body, and in a state of its क्षीण or vridha avastha, that is it's when it is formed in less quantity or it is in excess. So accordingly we use the Guruvadi Gun containing different food items, that is the Shita Ushna, Lagu, Guru or Snigdha, Ruksha, Sthir, Sar. So all these are the Guruvadi properties which are present in food also. So accordingly we apply the food and to maintain the physiological homeostasis of the tissues. Again in Charak Chikitsa, the same thing told by the Acharya Charak again. Saptabhi de dhataro dhato dividham puna yatha sum agnibhi pakam yanti kitta prasadavat. Means the 7 tissues, they get divided into 2 parts. Dhatu dividham puna, by the action of their respective dhatu agni. Swa agnibhi pakam yanti kitta prasadavat. So by the action of the respective dhatu agni over the dhatu, it gets it gets transformed. Pakam means its metabolism or its transformation into 2 parts, that is kit and prasada bhag, के waste part and its nutrient part. Now how the different waste products are formed, we have just now discussed. So what are the waste products which are formed at the level of 7 tissues? Kittam mannasya vidumutram rasasya tu kafo ashrija, pittam mansasya khamala, mala swedhastu medasa, shyata kittam keshlomastano, majja sneho achhi vitattvacham, prasad kitte dhatunam, paka devam vidharchada, prasad parasparopasanstabda dhatu ishne parampara. So the kittam annasya, the kit of anna is vidmutra. Vid means feces, mutra means urine. Rasasya tu kafo ashrija, and the mal of ras is kapha, asrija means rakta, and of rakta is pitta. So the ras dhatu has 2 mal, kaf dosh and lasika. Acharya Vagbhat has given lasika as a mal of ras also. Rakta, pitta dosh, mansa, khamala, mansasya khamala. Khamal, that is ear wax, or Chakrapani has further explained is that the secretions which are present in different external orifices. Kha means space. So the open orifices or the openings of the body are eye, nose, mouth and the genitalia. So the secretions in eye, nose, genitalia, urethra, coating over the tongue and teeth. All these things could be understood as a mans, mal. Main is swed. Mala swedhastu medasa. Asthi, hair on the scalp, body, beard and nail. Keshalom asthana. This is of asthi. Majja, unctuousness in eye and skin and physique. Ishnehu akshi vitatvacha. Unctuousness, akshi means eye, vit means physique, tvacha means skin. And shukra has no mal. Oj is considered as a mal of shukra by Acharya Vagbhat. Although it is considered that at the level of Shukra, when the Shukra Agni acts over the Shukra Dhatu, there is no mal is formed at all. But here Acharya Vagbhat has considered Oj as a mal of Shukra Dhatu in relation to the Garbh. He says that the Garbh is the prasad of Shukra Dhatu, and in relation to that Garbh, here Oj is considered as mal of Shukra Dhatu. Although Oj is not considered as a mal, because there is a reason that if there is a chay or vriddhi of any dhatu or mal, it causes disorders or vikar in the body. Whereas the Oj chay causes vikar, but the Oj vriddhi, it never causes any kind of disorder within the body. It only produces beneficial effects even in the vriddhi state also. Acharya Sharangadhar has also given the waste products which are formed at the level of Sapta Dhatu, and they are little bit different from the Dhatu Mal which are given by Acharya Charak, Shashruta and Vagbhat. So the mal of ras is Jihva Nel Kapola Nam Jalam. Jihva Netra Kapola Nam. So the moisture in eye, mouth and tongue. So the water secretion in the eye, mouth and tongue could be considered as the jal, and it is the mal of rasa dhatu. Whereas pittam cha ranjakam, rakt, mal of rakt is ranjak pitta. Not pit, here he has specified it is the ranjak pit which is the mal of rakta dhatu, and it is more scientific. And mans, earwax, kamal, med, sweat, that is swed, excretions in nose, genital, urethra, putting over the tongue and teeth. Asana, danta, kaksha, med, adij, malam. Then asthi, nails and hairs, majja, excretions of eye, unctuousness in the eye and face. So here netravit, twakshu cha snehu. Dhatu naam kramso mala. Shukra, yuvan pedika, that is acne in the adolescence. So here Acharya Sharangadhar has given the mal of Shukra dhatu as a pedika, that is yuvan pedika. So we know that under the effect of androgens, that is the sex hormones, during the puberty there is formation of acne. So this may be the reason why Acharya Sharangadhar has considered pedika as a mal of Shukra dhatu. Now the generation of dhatu mal during tissue transformation. Here Acharya Shushrut has given the verse Rasad raktam tato mansam mansanna medah prajayate medas tato asthi tato majja shukram tu jayate. In this verse he explains that the ras rakt mans med asthi majja shukra, they get nourished in a sequential manner. Rasat raktam, from the ras rakt is nourished, from the rakt mans, mans from mans med is nourished, from med asthi is nourished, and from asthi majja is nourished, from majja shukra is nourished. So Acharya Dillard has further explained that rasadinam mal sthul anu bhaga visheshena trividha parinamo bhavati, means when the rasa agni acted over the rasa dhatu, then it gets divided into three parts. Rasa agni pakwa anna malaha, pakwan malaha kafaha, sthula bhago rasa, adu bhago raktam. It gets divided into three parts, that is mala part, kaf, sthula bhag, major portion is ras, which nourishes to the ras. Adu bhag, it's a small fraction, it nourishes to the next dhatu, that is rakta dhatu. So in the same manner, all the tissues when acted upon by their respective agni, they get divided into three parts and there is generation of mal. But further Acharya Dillard has explained here that there is the sequential transformation of tissue. It doesn't happen in after birth. This transformation or this pattern of nourishment refers to the embryonic stage of tissue transformation and nutrition. We know that when the zygote is formed, it is single celled, and that cell has capacity to differentiate into any kind of cell. So during that, all the cells, they get nourished by the rasa and they get differentiated into different kind of tissues. Once they get differentiated into the different specific kind of tissue, then they do not get converted or transformed into another kind of tissue. So basically this refers to the tissue transformation and nutrition during the embryonic life or during the organogenesis. Here he says prajayate iti pravartata iti pathante shukram tu jayate sukrasya sambhava. So sambhava sabdo artha poshane na purvotpadane, means he explains that all the tissues, they get nourished and replenished only not they are formed from the previous dhatu. Yato rasadinam sukrantanam garbhadineva utpattir iti. So the ras adi, they are only replenished by the aharas after the birth of the baby. Means once the there is intake of any kind of food just after birth, then there is formation of aharas, and all the formed tissues, they are replenished and nourished by the aharas only, and they do not get one kind of tissue do not get transformed into another kind of tissue. Rather, it refers to the interdependence of the metabolism of different kind of tissues, as the Meda Dhatu, it for its metabolism, it depends on the Asti Dhatu also. So we know the formation of bone, it requires various hormones which get synthesized by the Meda. Cholesterol is made and vitamin D is synthesized by the cholesterol, and various other hormones are there, like the different kind of leptins and different kind of adipokines, which help in osteogenesis and osteoblastic activity. So in this manner we can say that all the tissues, they are interdependent on each other for their metabolism and their homeostasis, but one type of tissue do not get converted into another type of tissue. Here Acharya this Yoda Sen has also given commentary. Janiyascha poshanam eva vartate na purvotpadane yato raktadayo garbhat prabhityo utpanna rasadibhi poshyant. Means the same thing he also expresses, that there is only the nourishment and replenishment, and na purvotpade, the next dhatu do not get derived from the previous one. Now here we see that how the dhatu mal are derived by respective dhatu agni during the tissue transformation. Here this is the ras dhatu. When it is acted upon by the ras agni, it gets divided into sarabhag and malbhag, as I earlier discussed. Then the sarabhag divides into two parts. The major part, it nourishes to the ras dhatu or replenishes to the ras dhatu, and its small fraction, it nourishes to the rakta dhatu. It helps in nourishment of the rakta dhatu, whereas the mal is kaf. In the same manner, when raktagni is acted upon by rakta dhatu is acted upon by the raktagni, it gets divided into sar and malabhag, and the major part replenishes to the rakt, and its small fraction nourishes to the mans dhatu, and mal is pit. So in the same manner, in all the dhatu level, there is generation of mal, like in the mans, the khamal, med, swed, asthi, nakha, kesha, lom, beard. Similarly in majja, unctuousness in eye, skin and feces, shukra, that is garbh and oj. Now what is first mal is kaf, that is malarupi. It is also called as malarupi kaf or vakrit kaf. So for the understanding of dosh, Acharya Vagbhat has given that the dosh are of two kinds, prakrit dosh and vakrit dosh. The prakrit dosh are the dosh, they are also called as dhatu. They are responsible for formation of tatra prakritaya sapta vidhaya prakriti hetu bhuta sarirek janmana. So these prakrit dosh, they are responsible for determination of prakriti at the time of formation of zygote. So the prakrit dosh, they come into the zygote from the sperm and ova and they remain all through the life. So in the proportion in which Vat, Pitta, Kapha, they are formed into the zygote, that proportion is retained all through the life, and that is called as Prakrit Dosh, and they are responsible for formation of Prakriti, and they have been considered as Dhatu. Prakrita Sarir Ek Janmana Sattva Sarir Dharane Dhatu Sangya Labhate. So the Prakrit Dosh, they are all have been considered as Dhatu Sangya because they do not produce any kind of disorder. And प्राकृता दोष संज्ञ का नाम व्याकृता नाम वातादि नाम बीजभूता ते च प्राकृता येन मुमूर्षस्य स्वरूपान चलन्ति यावत् जीवित मरणेन स्वरूपा इत्यर्था ये तो जन्मान उत्तर काला संभवति ते व्याकृता. Here he says that the prakrit dosh, it has been considered as bijabhuta, means they are coming from the sperm and ova and they remain all through the life, means Jivit Maranam, means all through the life. And the dosh which are produced after birth from the ahar, they are called as Vakrit dosh. So Vakritastu Garbhadi Nisritasya Aharasya Mala Sambhavanti Prakritte Shev Avarohanti. So the Vakrit dosh, they are produced from the ahar as a mal, and they help in maintenance of Prakrit dosh. They replenish, they help in maintenance of Prakrit dosh, as well as they help in maintenance of the normal physiology of the body. And the Vakrit dosh te kal adivashena swapramad vridhya chayogat deham anugrahanti doshayanti cha. So the malrupi dosh, when they are produced, they are liable to change in their quality and quantity. Swapramada Vidhi Chai Yoga, because they are produced from the ahar. So the quality and quantity of the dosh, it depends on the type of food which we take, and the quality of food, and the code of conduct, vihar, the activity of the body. So it depends on so many factors. Kal, te kala adivashin. Kal means the time factor, that is the season, age, day, night. So and dushayanti cha, if they get vitiated because of improper diet and activity, so they produce disorder also. That's why they are called as dosh. So basically this Vakrit dosh which are produced from the ahar, they are called as dosh, and they depend on the ahar. Kafo avastha pakataras maltaya cha bhavati. So the kaph, it is also released during the first phase of digestion, that is madhura avastha paka. Madhuradhyat kafo bhavata fena bhutam udiryate. So thus the malrupi kaph nourishes to the Prakrit kapha and help in physiological functions produced during the vipak, that is during the process of aharas. Once the food is digested, the aharas gets reabsorbed, and then it is acted upon by the bhutagni, and after that there is conversion into the aharas, and that during that time there is formation of ras and formation of malrupi kaph, and that formed kaph is released during the first phase of digestion, that is called madhuravastha pak. And the quantity of malarupi kaph, it changes with the type of diet, lifestyle, season, and it follows a circadian rhythm. So this is about the malarupi kaph which is produced during the vipak, that is during the transformation of aharas, and from that the ras gets nourished and kaph is formed. Next mal of ras is lasika. So Acharya Vagbhat is considered lasika, or it is also called as lymph in contemporary sciences, as a mal of Rasadhatu. So what is lasika? Yattu tvag antare vradagatam lasika sabdam labate dash undakasya anjaleya. So the quantity of udak in the body is 10 anjali, and when the fraction of udak, it comes or it oozes out from any injured site over the skin as an exudate, then that udak is called as lasika. This lasika is also a dwelling site of pitta. Nabhir amashya shwedo lasika rudiram rasaha drik sparshanam cha pittasya nabhir atra visheshita. And here lasika has been considered as a water-like substance. Lasika jal shadashi. So basically, it is lasika is the fraction of udak, that is water, which oozes out from the injured site in the skin as an exudate. It is also a dushya. It gets vitiated in prameha, that is in diabetes. So this is about the lasika, and it is the mal of kapha. So thank you, and the rest of dhatu mal we will discuss in the next lecture.